Good afternoon, folks. It's your boy Joe D. A beautiful afternoon here in Southeast Texas. We're not fishing today. Have some other stuff going on, but I made a video a couple weeks back that I wanted to turn into a full-length video. Unfortunately, I was wearing a chest mount, and I'm a rookie. I wasn't used to that, and my arm was pretty much in the way of the view the whole time. So I just made a short catch clip again, dubbed over with some music. But I want to put a short clip in to talk about jig colors and how I pick my jig colors when I go to the lake, kind of what I look for, right? And normally about 80% of the time when I pick a jig color, based off of 3 or 4 different things, I'm typically right. Now, that's going to vary. If the fish are, super finicky or really hungry, a lot of times if they're really hungry and you're on moderately stained a clear water lake, it really doesn't matter. Sometimes they'll eat just about whatever you get in front of their face. But if they're sort of finicky or picky on a stained moderately clear water lake or clear water lake, then jig color can definitely make a difference. 3 of the things that I look at are: how much sunshine do I have, how clear is the water, and how much chop is on the water. How much is the wind affecting the water, right? When I go into choosing the jig colors that I normally use. With that being said, I've got a couple of kits that I just ordered from Bonehead Tackle, and they've got a clear water kit and a muddy water kit. I'm not going to say that I agree across the board for the kits on whole that they're 100% correct, but they have the right concept based on what I normally use. So this would be the muddy water kit, right? And this would be the clear water kit. So I show up to a lake and I look at the water. We have, we'll say slightly stained green water, visibility 1.5 to 2 foot. I always try to start off with natural colors. If I'm concerned about jig head colors, which I'm going to do that in another video, for clear water lakes or moderately stained, chartreuse is always a good one to start with, or just the old lead head. Typically I'd go with chartreuse on that. But I would start with a natural color bait. If it's pretty clear water, the video you're going to watch is a bait that they only wanted a certain bait that day. They're pretty finicky. It's a bait that I wouldn't go to right off the bat. It took some changing up. But we'll say something like this, which is your, I don't know what Bonehead calls it, but it'd be your traditional kind of monkey milk type of color or whatever the case may be. Now, if there is a lot of wind on the water and there's a good bit of sunlight, I typically try to pick something that has, some sparkle in it. With that being said, we'd say something like this, something with a little bit more flake in it, some reflectiveness. If it's more overcast, I pick more of a, for lack of a better term, dull color. I might still start off with something natural, right? Maybe something with some contrast in it, like a natural to a chartreuse tail or whatever the case may be. And most of the time when I do that, if the fish are, even considering biting, then I'm in the right wheelhouse. I might have to change up a little bit, but normally I'm going to catch some fish on those colors. Now, as far as muddy water goes, high contrast, orange and pink for crappie. I'm not going to pretend, this is my opinion, I'm not going to pretend like I know what a crappie sees underwater, because I don't. But in my experience from growing up fishing Grenada Lake with my dad as a kid, I'm originally from Mississippi. That's my home lake. Orange and pink are really hard to beat. Of course, black and chartreuse, but in turbulent muddy water, something like this. And then you also have to get in the fact of profile and size. When you get in muddy water, something that's easier to see, that throws a bigger profile, but we won't get into that today. That's for another video. At any rate, if I notice that the fish aren't biting the color I pick first, right, then I'll start mixing it up. And it's not always a science. A lot of times I'm getting bit on something that I never used before. In the catch clip you're about to watch, I ordered these color baits, but I never really used them. But they wanted, the water was moderately stained to clear with a little chop on it, and partly cloudy with some sunlight, as you'll see in the video. But they wanted that bait with a chartreuse head, and that's the bait they bit the most. And you'll notice from trip to trip that a lot of times your rhyme or reason or what you think should work doesn't work, and you have to just change it up and keep changing it up until you find what they want. And sometimes it's the oddest looking ugly color you can think of. But I did notice with these Bonehead tackle kits, the ones that came in, I'm not sponsored by Bonehead Tackle or anything like that, I just like their plastics. I noticed that they put together a clear water kit and a muddy water kit and the glow kit, and a lot of it's pretty close. I like it, so we're looking forward to using those. With that being said, you really have to you know, just play with your colors, and with me having live scope, I can tell if a fish is interested or not. It cuts down a lot of the wasted time. It makes me more of an efficient fisherman, and it also taught me that sometimes what I think a fish should bite is totally wrong, right? So I didn't know as much about it as I thought I did. But at any rate, I hope y'all enjoy the video. Some slow-mos in there, just a catch clip. I'm gonna put together a full video with some of my thoughts, you know, and kind of try to pick what I want to talk about that day based off what conditions I have and what to focus on. So look forward to it. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Thanks.